host want to let it play one more again. I think we need a longer video, maybe like 2 minutes.
Maybe.
I be need a little extra time to get my life together over here. Just a little bit.
Just a
Just
little
a little
bit.
bit. Just a little bit. And let's see, where are we? Is our anniversary next week? No, it's the week after next.
The week after
I'm,
next.
I'm jumping the gun. Jumping the gun.
Hey, I mean, it's something to be proud of, something to be excited about.
Yes, times of celebration. That's what we need to do, especially during this month, because a lot of people don't know it's Mental Health Awareness Month. And
Hmm.
there are so many things that can like literally just try to bring you down, especially going into a new season and you're trying to bring all those winter blues with you. Why? Don't do that to yourself.
No, don't,
Do
please.
it. Don't do it. Just be great. Let go of those past hurts, past pains, and move into the new season.
Yes, ma'am.
Embrace it. Let's see, where are we? It's 8:02. You already dropped it in the chats.
Yes, ma'am.
No, I just appreciate you
I appreciate you, Queen. You know, we work well
because
together.
you get it done. I'm over here fiddling with other stuff. You dropping links and stuff, ma'am.
Girl, we work well together. I appreciate us.
I appreciate. Girl, I feel like I'm like, see, got it. Like I don't even gotta worry about it. I just do my thing over here, and then I look up and it's already done. I be like, she got my back. I got her back. We in this. We in this.
Yes, Queen, we got this. Sister Queens, we do it. Do it well.
Okay, let's see if this. So I had to do some readjusting last week with the restream and see if our comments start working.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it looks like, yeah. Good morning, Mr. Shabazz.
Good morning.
I think he did drop that on Facebook. So Facebook is now pulling again.
Good,
It's
good.
working. It's working. All right. You know, sometimes it shows me who's watching and then sometimes it doesn't.
Mm-hmm. I
So if
think
I don't get a chance to acknowledge our viewers who are watching, but just haven't commented, we love y'all
yes, we love y'all.
for tuning in. Absolutely. Teamwork makes the dream work. I know that's right, babe. Yes.
Yeah.
And right when I said restream, don't show me who's watching, now it shows me who's watching. I think it just likes to mess with me.
It's just a little delay, just a little bit.
It's just a little bit. Good morning, Bree. Good morning, Jamal. Thanks
Good
for
morning.
tuning
Good
in to our
morning.
live. Thank you. Thank you.
Happy Tips and Tea Tuesday.
Happy Tips and Tea Tuesday. Babe, can you do me a favor? Because I just want to test this out. Can you go to our YouTube page and drop a comment? I want to see if it pulls both.
Mm.
Do a little work to get it back right because it was only pulling YouTube for the last couple of weeks. It wasn't pulling Facebook. So I just want to make sure if I reconnect to Facebook
Oh.
and knock out our YouTube.
So you can see all the comments from the different platforms in one spot too.
Supposedly.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
yes.
awesome.
Yep. So, baby, if you can drop a comment on YouTube and say hi from YouTube, that would be really great. I wonder if it'll come up a different color. It should.
Well,
Because
let's see.
can you see the comments?
I can see the comments, yeah, popping up. I just see one. The most recent one is from a Jamal Hill. Happy Mother's Day to you both. Thank you, Jamal. Appreciate
Thank you,
you.
Jamal. Yes, yes. I got breadstick wasted at Olive Garden on Sunday.
Mm.
I did. So shout out to the family because it had been a long time since I've been to Olive Garden. And I forgot. I did. I forgot how good it can really be and how much they overload you with food.
Oh my gosh. Just the soup, salad, and breadsticks alone is enough for me. Mm, mm,
That's
mm,
basically what I ate. I ate a lot of salad and a lot of breadsticks.
mm.
I will say though they were slipping a little bit on that calamari.
Hey, we just got a comment from YouTube. You see it? Let's go. Woo, woo.
Thank you. Shout out to the husband. Really appreciate you, sir. See, teamwork
Yeah.
does make the dream work. He's part tips of T too. He got
Oh,
recruited. He
that's
just didn't know.
right. behind the scenes.
Yes, yes. Thank you, babe. Really appreciate you. How was your Mother's Day, teacher?
It was good. I enjoyed spending time with my family. I enjoyed being able to see my son. He's going to cook dinner for me. We didn't get together Sunday because I got in town late, but just, just happy to be around family. That's what it's about.
Yes,
How was your
absolutely.
Mother's Day?
It was good. We've been gone for a while. So we were in Mexico for a couple months and then we just made it back not too long ago. And so that was the first outing where we kind of saw a lot of our family all together. So I got to
Mhm.
hang out with some of my nieces and nephews, my mom, my dad, my sister, my daughter was there, my husband was there. So we all got to kind of hang out together and just go to church and go get some good food afterwards and just catch up. My aunt Velma was there, so it was good. It was good being around family and just spending time together and getting breadstick wasted from Olive Garden on top of that. Because
Yeah.
what do they put in them breadsticks and why they so hot when it comes to the table?
She said, what do they put in them? I don't
Hmm.
know. Maybe a little melatonin, something to keep.
You know, I was like, the husband asked, he's like, do you want to go do something else? You want to go get some ice cream? You want to go to a movie? I'm like, I just want to go to bed. I want, I want to take a nap because I think the jet lag kicked in from a couple
Oh,
weeks
yeah.
ago, and we just been working a lot and trying to get the house together. So it's just been a lot and going just nonstop, literally going nonstop. So I just really wanted to go to sleep.
Hey, Queen, there's nothing wrong with that. You needed your beauty rest. You had your belly full. You had a good time with family and friends. So that's
Hmm.
what it was about.
Yeah. So the best Mother's Day is a really good long nap. If you couldn't give a mother in your life anything else, take them kids and let her go to sleep.
Yes, yes. So true.
Yes, yes. Well, happy Mother's Day to all the ladies out there, even our ladies who, might not have kids of your own, but you got some surrogate kids,
Yes.
So just happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. We really appreciate you. And happy Heavenly Mother's Day to all our mothers who have passed on but are still here in our hearts and just, watching over. Shout out to our Queen Nikki. We love you, Queen. We couldn't be here with us here, but we know that you're still with us. Your presence still,
Oh, yeah.
flows through your kids, your husband, through all the heavy hitters, So we miss you, love.
Yes, definitely, Miss Nikki.
Yes, yes.
Mm-mm.
So I think where are we at? It is 8:09. I think we should go ahead and kick this thing off. What do you think?
I'm ready. I'm with you, Queen.
You are. See, I told y'all she'd be rocking and rolling, rocking and rolling, ready to go.
We rock and roll together.
All right. Well, I just want to say good morning and welcome to another live of Tips and Tea Tuesday. We have officially rebranded Tuesdays. It is now officially Tips and Tea Tuesdays, if anybody didn't know. I am one of your hosts, Shantella Shabazz, and I am a regional consultant with Nove, the credit and money company. And I'm also super excited about today because today's topic is doing something that so many people are silently dealing with an emotional toll of just like debt. And we're trying to figure out how to break that cycle, right? But first, I want to introduce our beautiful queen and co host. She's a powerhouse in this space and a woman of faith, a mother, and a senior consultant with Nove. Please welcome Mr. Teacher Booker.
Hello, hello. Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday.
Yes, if y'all know who she is now, you know that's Miss Cece Booker over there. You better recognize. Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes. Well, thank you so much, sis. I am always honored to be here with you and our beautiful audience. This conversation that we are having today is definitely an important one because, debt doesn't mess with just your finances, it can impact your mental health. And, that's something that we want to talk about today and, help to motivate your mind and help you with your mood. But good news is on the way. We
Mhm.
can work with you, walk through this together, and we can start today.
We definitely can.
Yeah.
So if you all didn't know, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. I think I just mentioned it a little while ago, but that's why we want to kind of bring this to the forefront, because one of those things that can really mess with your mind is what's going on with your finances.
Right.
Finances break up relationships,
Mm.
they tear apart families, it literally can manifest itself in you and cause illnesses within your body when you're carrying on stress from having debt and you're going through a bankruptcy or financial failure. So we just wanted to kind of, address a couple things when it comes to debt and how carrying that weight can be really detrimental for you. Sometimes you have to realize that it's not as bad as you might think it is. Sometimes we just hold things in and we think it's the end of the world, but sometimes you have to let things go and be okay with starting over. There's nothing wrong with starting over, especially if it's going to take that stress off of you. So just wanted to come in and then just help people to realize that carrying debt like that, it really creates that emotional weight. And why carry that with you? Why keep carrying that on? So um, realize that, okay, you might be embarrassed about the situation, but
Hmm.
why? Talk about it. Get it out there in the forefront. There are more people going through the same thing that you're going through than you realize,
That's
right?
true.
And nowadays, why do you need to be embarrassed about it? Because there's so many tools out there to help you get rid of that debt. Debt is everywhere, especially in the society that we're in today, especially with the rising cost of groceries,
Mm.
gas, rent, everything is going up but our paychecks, right?
Right.
So again, a lot more people are in debt than you think. So it's not embarrassing. You don't have to carry on anxiety behind it. You don't have to feel shame about what's going on. I was talking to my brother the other day, and I was just saying, sir, I don't know how you do it. He's caring for a family of six and a half if you count the cat. Toshiro runs their household, but I'm like, how are you managing? We came back from Mexico where we were spending half the cost on groceries, and I
Mhm.
went shopping when we first got back because the house was empty, and I spent over $500 for three people for about a good week and a half worth of groceries. $500. How?
Yeah.
How? So definitely, there's nothing to be ashamed of. Even my eyes are bulging out of my head at these prices. I was watching a video clip of Cardi B, and she's taking care of a lot of people in her household. And she was like, "Why are we spending so much on groceries?" And then she looked at the grocery bill and just saw that things that used to be $1, $2 are now
Hmm.
$6, $7. So
Yeah.
not just us, everyday people are feeling it. You have millionaires feeling the cost of what's going on now. So definitely don't be ashamed. Let's talk about it. Let's get it out there in the forefront, and let's find some solutions to help people get past this debt so you don't have to be stressed and in the bed laid up sick with the covers over your head.
Yes, definitely, definitely. I mean, we've all struggled. We've all had situations where you've come up short for a bill or, groceries or, I've myself have been in situations where, I've paid all my bills and I'm like, man, I have, a certain amount of money. This is not going to last me for 2 weeks, So sometimes you have to figure out how you can stretch your money, how you can make
Mhm.
things work. And the thing about it is when you talk to people, sometimes it is embarrassing, or you feel embarrassed if you don't have what you need for your necessities. But sometimes talking to people and strategizing can make a world of difference, you
Yes, it
know?
can.
Because I mean, you putting two heads together. I may think of something, you may think of something, Chantella. Put those things together, and
Mhm.
then you come out in a better situation. So no need to be embarrassed. Just I would say not doing anything about it would be embarrassing. You've gotten yourself in a situation and now we need to figure out a way to get out of this hole.
Yes, yes. Raise your hand and talk about it. Like C said, and type stress in the comments if you've
Yeah.
ever laid in bed thinking about how you're going to pay that next bill. So if you ever been through that, or definitely type stress, if you need some help, we're here as well to help you. We definitely have some different programs through Novay. We'll bring it up a little later. We have some a debt help program that can help people, as
Yeah.
well as a credit repair if you're facing financial woes where your credit scores are so low that you can't, get the apartment. That'll get you a better rental income, better rent rate on your rent. That you
Hmm.
can't go and get the car that's a lower cost, that's saving
Right.
you money because your credit score is too low. So we definitely have some solutions for you here through our no-base services. So definitely feel free to reach out to us, and then we'll cover a little bit of that in today's live too.
Yes, definitely.
So see, what do you got for us?
Well, I was just going to share, just a personal story, just so, our listeners, know that they're not alone. You don't have to be alone in situations like this. Um, just to reflect, I can remember, having to go to agencies, to get some assistance on, an electric bill, things like that. And, it's kind of like a catch 22 because you're thankful that the help is out there, but sometimes it can be embarrassing going there, but the
Mhm.
upside is, due to having dealing with situations like that, I try to manage everything better now. So I've gotten to the point where it does feel good to be able to pay everything, and then I've budgeted correctly. So you have to learn from your mistakes, you have to learn from your past, um I guess, downfalls or, downsides.
Yeah.
So just know that, you're not alone. There's help out there, and we definitely are here for you. We definitely have services that we can offer. So don't feel alone. Don't feel alone. And I'm sure there are several people out there that can relate to what I'm saying. And if you can relate to it, drop me in the chat.
Hmm. Me, I can relate to. We've all been there, but the difference is for me is that I did ask for help. I did. So there was times where, especially we've been around for a little while now. So we went through multiple recessions
Oh
just
yeah.
coming up. And there was a whole housing crisis where we had bought at the peak at one point at the housing market. And then a year later, we lost over 150,000 in equity in the house we just bought,
Oh.
and hours were being cut at our 9 to 5s, so there was definitely times where I was trying to figure it out, prayed about it, talked to my family about it. There was times where it was time for me, I needed another car. The power steering was was
Mm.
not working in my car. And, I reached out and I just let people know what was going on with me. And, thank God for my mom. So shout out to Miss Bunny G, Miss Bernice Gary. I love her so much. Spent some time with her this weekend. And,
Oh.
you know, sh- I'm one where, like, if someone does something for me, I definitely want to make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to do on my end. So you can't ask for help and then not keep up your end of asking for the help. So she actually, when I was younger and we were going through a lot financially, she put the car, I had to get another car. She put my car in her name so I could get a lower interest rate. But I paid the bill. So
Mhm.
I paid the bill and then I ended up paying the car off early because I had the income, but my credit took a hit because of what happened with the recession in the housing market.
Oh,
And
yeah.
just things just went down here for a while, and it took us a while to get back to a place where we were able to rebuild our credit and build back up our finances to get back on track financially. Because there was a time where we had rental properties, but people weren't paying rent, so
Mhm.
we were covering more than one mortgage. So, but by her doing that, and I didn't put her in a position where I know I didn't have the money and just had her putting cars and things under her name, knowing that I didn't have the money to pay it. You still need to be responsible in that sense, especially if someone's doing you a favor.
Oh,
And
definitely.
yeah, so shout out to my mama for having the A plus credit and
Hey.
getting that 2.9% back in the day about 15 years ago for that car I need to get. Because they were trying to charge me I think like 27% interest rate on a
Mhm.
car. Yeah. Yeah, so that car note would have been astronomical because I had a budget in mind. I didn't want to pay more than $300 a month for that car. And with her setting me up for success, I was able to stay within that budget and pay that car off within 3 years.
Yes.
Yes, so
And
shout out
see,
to mom. Yeah.
it was a blessing that you had her to be able to help you, because people
Hmm.
that don't have that don't have a person, someone that can help them, that has better credit. They can definitely be stressful, it can be
Yes.
overwhelming, and it can have a significant impact on your mental health. um, Anxiety, constant worry,
Hmm.
depression, and hopelessness. It can cause sleep problems. And like you mentioned earlier, strain on relationships, because if everybody's not putting in, the person that's putting in more, it can be a little stressful. Like, hey, you're
Absolutely.
not keeping up with your end. Come on, we need some help over here. I mean, you're not supposed to be 50-50, something.
Exactly. But as we know, in a lot of relationships, sometimes it can't be 50-50, and you have to be okay with that. Sometimes your partner needs you to pull 80, 90%
Yes. Yes.
because they just can't. They physically can't, they mentally can't. So, not being resentful towards someone because they're in a place in that moment, in that season, that they can't do that and be the 50-50, and you might have
Hmm.
to carry it in that season, and then being okay in the next season where now they're doing better and they might have to carry you, and
Right.
you don't have to feel like, man, I owe them, or you're embarrassed because now they have to carry you. No, that's why you're in that partnership. So
Yes.
definitely, I will say, it's okay to lean on people around you and lean into your community, but you also gotta take care of business. So
Oh, yeah.
it always, yeah, it always starts with a decision.
Starts
Like
with you.
Bossy mentioned, yeah, Bossy mentioned it was that last week he was on? It feels like a
Yes, it
long
was
time
last week.
ago.
It does feel like it was a long time ago, but it was last week. But
Yeah,
yes,
so much has happened. He said the one key thing is to start.
with you.
you know, Whether it's starting credit repair to help you get the house that's going to get you lower payments because rent is more than a lot of people's mortgages now, you know,
That part.
whether it's starting that decision or starting a decision to start debt help. If you got more than $10,000 in debt that's causing you and stressing you out, its decision is starting. Decision is maybe you need to reach out for help. There are so many community programs that's out there right now that's helping people restart their lives. There's Habitat for Humanity that's helping people in underserved communities with getting homes. So
Hmm.
there are resources. Your church, your local church, are feeding families. So there's definitely resources out there. Even if you don't have family or friends that you can lean on, lean into your community. Don't be embarrassed. If anything, we're in an era where people are like, we get it, and
Hmm.
we're all out here trying to survive. So whatever we can do to help each other, if we can
Yes.
come together as a collective and help each other, then that's what we need to do. So don't be afraid of that. And then just know that also when it comes to credit,
Hmm.
just because your credit might not be where you want it to be, you might be 3, 4, 500 scores. Just know that you're not your credit score. You
Right.
know, your past doesn't define your future. Like there are definitely some extenuating circumstances out there that put even the best of people who always try their best, but just life just kept getting in the way. Cars break down, houses need repairs.
Hmm.
Everything is hitting at once. Medical bills are piling up. Things are all happening all at the same time, and you just couldn't
Yes.
keep up with those bills. You're trying to keep up with paying with credit cards, and the interest has got out of control. This happens. It happened to me. It
Yeah.
happened to me. It happened to our family. It's happened to so many people I know around me. See, I mean,
Oh yeah, honey.
it
Happened to
happens.
me too.
But you can recover from it. You are definitely not your credit. Thank you, babe. He put you are not your
Not
credit
your
score.
credit score. That's
You can come
facts.
back from it. So I was at a point where I had no credit. I had a 500 credit score. I'm over 800 now.
I know
It
that's
took some
right.
time, it took some work, but again, just know that you can change it if you start. You have to
Yeah.
get started.
Yes. Your breakthrough begins the moment you decide.
Yes, it does. Yes, it
One
does.
powerful decision can shift your direction and open up new doors and change your entire life. So don't underestimate the strength of just simply choosing to move forward.
Hmm. So I think it kind of starts with, I'm gonna bring up that word again,
What word, Queen? What word are we talking about now? Which one?
consistency.
That hit me right in my heart, didn't it?
Feel like I got shot. But no, it's one of those things where it's like the simple things. It takes some discipline. It takes consistency. Once you
Yeah.
get the discipline to make sure that you're creating that bridge between that and where you want to be,
Hmm.
right? Discipline is okay. I know I don't have the money. I can't go out to order Uber Eats. I don't need to go to Dunkin' or nothing but butt cakes and all these places and get all these extra desserts. Sometimes it's cutting things out to help save you money. So, teacher, I'm gonna sing your praises, Queen, because you realized that Starbucks was a problem, and you were
It
spending so
was.
much on Starbucks. She cut for those who didn't catch our previous live. She ended up stopped. She stopped going to Starbucks. She realized that she was spending what, $60 a week.
Yes.
$60 a
$60
week.
a week on coffee when I could have it for free.
Yes. So that's $300 a month. Over $300 a month that she's saving by not going to Starbucks.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell you, they coffee tastes burnt to me. So I don't like it anyway.
But you have to get the specialty drinks. They're so good. They're so refreshing. But it's okay. Cause I mean, I did good. I had to boycott the TikTok shop for a little while because I was spending too much money there. So,
Hmm.
the starting point is just noticing you have a problem. So I noticed I had a problem with TikTok shop, so I had to cut that out.
Yes.
And I can proudly say I haven't purchased anything since September.
Great job, Queen. I would like to say great job because that's a big deal because you have to recognize what your habits are. Her habit was she was taking her son to work in the morning. She was getting up early. It was what, 5 in the morning,
Yes,
Satitra?
girl.
Five
Yes.
in the morning. So it's like, okay, because I'm getting up this early, now I'm creating this habit by going to Starbucks to reward myself to try to keep me motivated to keep getting up and making this long drive to go drop him off. So we justify this habit by saying, well, I have to do this. So let me get this to just bring some comfort in my life while I'm making this long drive. But,
Girl,
you
yes.
know, recognize what the habit that you're creating. My habit was when I would get stressed out, overwhelmed, I would like to hide out in my house and watch, like comfort shows.
Mm-hmm.
I got to the point where I had like all the streaming services. I have Prime, I have Hulu. We talked about this before, Netflix, all these different Disney, all these different streaming services. But then again, life got so busy. It got to a point I'm not even watching it. I just
Right.
want to have it there because I got the habit of when I was stressed out and had the time to watch it, I got all these services. Now that I
Mm-hmm.
don't have that anymore, these services are still there, but I don't want to get rid of them because just in case I want to be able to go back and watch what I want to watch.
Right.
But I'm not watching it. Yeah, so recognizing your habits as well will also lead you to realizing, okay, I need to let that go. It's okay. And just, it's going to be hard at first. I'm not going to lie to you. You'll be like, it's going to be that little voice in your head. Well, why are you doing that? It's not that big of a deal. It's just Netflix. It's just Hulu. It's just one show. It's not that big of a deal. They all add up.
They do.
They all add up. When you look at some of these streaming services, some of them add up to hundreds of dollars. You basically back to paying a cable bill again.
Girl, you just took the thought out of my head. I was going to say add all that stuff up and you just paying a cable bill.
And what was the point? The whole point of just cutting cable and get into the streaming service was to save money, right?
Mhm.
Now
Yes.
we're back paying a
The
cable bill.
same thing. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes. So recognize your habits is a big thing as far as just getting that discipline. So recognizing your habit, track your spending. We talked about this before. Tracking your spending, seeing where your money is going. We had a great live over the last couple of weeks where we were talking about budgeting and watching your money, checking your credit card statements and your bank accounts, and just seeing where money was flowing to. Just
Right.
looking at it and see where it was going, and then recognizing that and realizing, okay, why am I paying for this? Am I even using this? And start wick whacking, just start chopping. And then make sure you're budgeting. Make sure you're budgeting and paying those bills on time. Sometimes you
Mhm.
gotta rob Peter to pay Paul, make sure that bill gets paid on time because that one credit card got a 30% interest rate on there. So you want to make sure you get that one paid.
Right. Robbing Peter to pay Paul. I know that's right. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Make it work.
hmm So yeah,
Make it work.
basically it's awareness. Awareness is the first step of just realizing where the money is going, tracking your spending, knowing that you can't fix it if you don't know,
Right.
right? So you got to start. You got to write it down. You got to review the statements. You got to make sure you're tracking at least, but just take out a block. Look at the next 30 days. All right, let's
Mhm.
do that. Look at the next 30 days and see where your money is going, right? And then just be patient too. I know the stress is there and you feel like the creditors is breathing down your back. But guess what? It's still gonna happen. They still
Yeah.
gonna do it. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. Take the time to take the steps to figure it out first. And then the path will be clear of what you need to do and which route you need to go. Right. And then if you need help with figuring that part out, if you know already where you're at as far as the debt that you're in, if you're over $15,000 in debt and you're thinking about filing bankruptcy, there are some other options out there. Nove has a debt help program.
Yes.
We do free consultations. So we set you up with one of our debt counselors that can review everything that you have going on. And I believe in some cases, some of the debt is reduced by up to 50%. So we can definitely get some payments down a lot lower, even for our business clients as well. In some of those cases, it's reduced by what was it? I think it was over 80% for some,
Yeah.
80 to 90% for some.
90%, I believe. You said with the
Yeah.
business customers?
Yeah, with our business
Yes, I do
customers, for
believe it's
business.
up to 90%. Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
Yeah, so definitely if you guys are struggling with debt and you have tens of thousands of dollars in debt and you need some help and you just want to just see what your options are, you
Mhm.
can reach out to myself, Centella Shabazz, or Mr. Teacher Booker, or anyone on our heavy hitter team within Nove. We have two different programs, whether it's on the personal side or if it's
And
on the business
business.
side. Yeah, where we can just get you some information to see which way is the best way for you to go. Even if you don't want to do the debt help, we also have debt consolidation loans that we
Mhm.
can set you up with, it's depending on where you are credit wise. And if you need some help, we do have two different credit programs that we'll talk about a little bit later too. So, see, I'm gonna toss it back to you, but before that, I just wanted to just ask the audience who is ready for a fresh start this month with their
Yeah.
money habits. If you can, drop a calendar emoji in the chat if you're ready for a fresh start and you don't want to be weighed down by debt anymore and you just
Mhm.
want to be ready to go for it, especially because summer is around the corner and who wants to be in the house depressed with the covers over their
Right?
head?
Yes. Now would be a good time to start like a little budgeting plan so that way you can save for like a little vacation. And one challenge that I would say
Mhm.
that helped me at one point in time, it was a few years ago, but like literally every single purchase that I made, I got a physical receipt for it. And I kept those receipts. And at the end of the month, I went back and I looked to see all what I spent my money on. And there
Mhm.
was a lot of things that was pretty much just frivolous spending. You know what I mean? So if you can identify things where you are spending frivolously or, things that you don't really need, but you're just because we all do it. We all do
Yeah.
it. You see something and you want it because you see it, not because you need it, because you see it, or you want to. Oh, so and so got this. She like it. It's good. Let me get it. So you just want to be more intentional with your spending, and try to come up with a system to help you identify where you're spending your money at and things you can do to, I guess, negate that. Leave that
Mhm.
alone, move on to something else. But you know credit repair is something that definitely can help.
Yeah.
We've mentioned how it can help you. It can affect your insurance. We talked about that last week. We also talked about that hiring index. So credit is kind of really affecting you all the way around. But you just have to realize and understand that it's not an overnight fix. It takes time. We have people that have had awesome and amazing results, but they weren't in it for just 2 months. They weren't in it for just 3 months. They took the time. They had the discipline
Mhm.
to stick it out. So we mentioned earlier, some tools, having an accountability partner, using no-vase programs, and just being consistent with what you're doing to reach the goal that you're trying to reach. Some things that can help you is making sure that your credit utilization is lowered, paying on time every time, or making two small payments to instead of making one payment for your credit, make two small payments. That's going to cut down with your utilization. And like Chantella mentioned earlier, just checking your credit report regularly, so that way you're not getting blindsided with something that you didn't know was there. And another thing that can help, that I've had clients ask me about, is leaving old accounts open. You definitely want to leave those old accounts open because it's helping to establish your credit history.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Don't close that oldest credit card just because
Mm-mm.
you think that wiping everything out is going to help clear your credit. No, you just a big part of the your credit score is
Credit history.
credit history, that payment history, and you wiping that out, you gonna see your score go boop.
Do 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 do. Whammy,
Yep.
whammy.
Yes, yes. Just like if you have a auto loan that you've been paying on for like the last 5 or 6 years, you know, and that you get ready to pay it off, and you think that paying it off is going to boost your score. Well, sometimes your score takes a dip because that wasn't a consistent loan that you were paying over the course of 5 years that was showing the creditors that you are responsible. Now you don't have that anymore, showing that you are responsible for paying a set amount each month on time. That's now gone. So a lot of times we recommend that you set up another credit builder onto your account at least 6 months to 9 months before that loan is coming to an end, to make sure you're
Mm.
putting something else in place. A year if you can, but making sure you're adding something else that's going to replace that loan that's going to go bye bye when that car gets paid off. So definitely, um, let's talk, let's chat, and keep in mind that, you know, again, like the teacher said, it is discipline. It is discipline. A lot of people start with fixing their credit and getting on a financial track, and then after they don't see results within a month or two, they drop it. It took you more than 2 months to mess up that credit.
That part, yes, yes. You've been messing up that credit for quite some few years now. It'll
Hmm.
take more than 2 months to fix it.
Yes, yes. So if you really want to do something where it's going to help you grow and fix your credit and really build a profile, because it's not just about having a good score, it's all about also having a good overall credit profile where you have a good mix of installment loans, a good mix of revolving lines of credit. You don't have a bunch of inquiries showing up on your credit
All right.
that they're looking at, you know, your debt to income, so just overall, what does your profile look like? And realizing that that takes time. Getting payment history takes time. Nothing is going to be fixed overnight. It's
No.
just not possible. So you got to stay with it. You got to stay with it. Be disciplined and be consistent.
Yes, definitely, definitely. I've had some issues going back on and forth on my credit, because I went through a time period where my credit was bad. Then I went through a time period where it was really good, and then it took a
Mhm.
couple of dips. So, I mean, it's like something you have to work on consistently. It's not anything that you fix one time and then, whoop, it's good for the rest of my life. No, no. We're going to break it down and just
Yeah.
keep it just, simple since we are, we already been going for about 41 minutes. Yes, we'll keep it simple. So, credit repair, is removing inquiries. Sometimes credit reports have mistakes, like
Mhm.
payments that you've actually paid on time, or accounts that don't belong to you, or debts that should have been removed. So credit repair starts by reviewing your reports and disputing anything that's inaccurate or outdated. And then also too, it consists of rebuilding a positive payment history. So, fixing errors and things on your credit report is great, but you also, like Chantella said, you need to show that you're responsible now by
Mhm.
making your on-time payments, keeping your credit card utilization low, using tools like secured credit cards,
Yes.
and credit building programs, and again, we just want to keep saying it because consistency is key. Staying consistent. Credit doesn't improve overnight. It takes steady, consistent habits like paying bills on time, not opening up too many accounts, and managing your debt wisely. You definitely don't want to spread yourself too thin because I've done that before. It's not fun. It's not fun because those really truly are situations where you are robbing Peter to pay Paul, Jack, and Ralph. Okay.
Mhm. She threw a couple extra in there.
Yes, honey. Yes.
Well, shout out to Miss Gilmore. She said Starbucks coffee does taste burnt. She said, "Come on, burnt coffee, it do. It does, right?"
Y'all
Because
not gonna talk now. Wait a minute now. Y'all not gonna talk about Starbucks because, honey, them pecan crunch lattes, those oat milk lattes. I do not just get the regular coffee. If you gonna go do it, you got to do it big. You gotta get your cheese Danish, your egg pesto sandwich. You know what I'm saying? We're not just going through there for coffee. You get coffee from the gas station.
go big, go home. She said, "Go big, I go home." But look, when you think about it, that one cup of coffee, that pecan delight thing she was saying, how many calories is that?
Well, too
Now you got
many.
these 500 extra squats because of that pecan delight.
Okay, okay, okay. And shout out to Sherry Landrum because Sherry opened my eyes with the Starbucks thing too,
Yes.
because she sent me a video and it really kind of like made me think like they've really been getting me all this time.
Mm.
It was a video where they had a small cup, a medium cup, and a large cup. And you poured the coffee in there, and the same amount of coffee fit into each cup. It's about the circumference of the cup.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're getting a large cup of coffee or a drink, you're paying for the same amount that goes in a small cup. Don't let them get you.
I was just trying to figure out why the small cup of coffee is like $5. I'm just like trying to. The Christian woman in me wants to be nice, but sometimes I walk past my Starbucks that's by my house and I want to throw up my middle finger.
Forget you taking advantage of all my people.
Right, but then I slap my own hand and I don't do it because I be like, Jesus be offense, and we keep it moving. But sometimes it's be like, because why y'all charge that much for coffee that tastes burnt? I don't understand. I don't understand.
Well, listen, I just appreciate the fact that I was able to let go of it, get over it, and I'm enjoying the taste of homemade coffee now.
I love that. I love that. Yes, and shout out to Devin. He says a win is a win.
Oh, wait a minute. What is going on here? Do you see
Yeah,
the
something just
comments
popped up.
popping up across the screen now?
Oh, I touched something.
Oh, well, no, that's cool. I'm just like, wait a minute, what's going on? Never seen that before.
Look, I didn't know it did that.
Look, and we're moving on now.
Hey. Yes, Sherry said I cut those corners before by getting those services during the time they were offering the service for $2.99 or $1.99. So she's talking about the streaming services, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you can save money if you do want to keep some of those services. Like the Disney Plus, I do enjoy that, especially my nieces and nephews come over. We watch the Disney movies together. Look out for the deals. So that also helps as well too. If it's something that you do want to keep, then definitely look for those discounts. Because sometimes if you tell them I'm going to wick whack you, they'll give you some discounts for a few months.
That part, they sure will. And do that with your cell phone bill too, because I sure did that with T-Mobile. Sure did.
Mm-hmm.
Got a couple
Absolutely.
things
So
cut off, made that bill a little bit smaller.
I know that's right. And we've
Hmm.
talked about this before. You need to also do an audit of your bills. See what you're paying, seeing what services that you can change to eventually save you money. Because why keep overpaying for things when there's other services out there that's a fraction of the cost?
Right.
So definitely looking at that as well. And then just realizing when you're on your credit journey, it isn't just about your score. What does it lead to when you improve your credit score? It leads to more
Hmm.
freedom because you'll be available to do more things because you get some of your time back because you're not having to work all those extra hours and overtime to pay down these high interest credit cards, right? So you do get some
Yeah.
freedom back. It brings you peace of mind, so then you're sleeping better, so then your health improves because you're sleeping. You're actually getting some rest. And it's also about having options when it's time to buy a home, start a business, or
Hmm.
even protect your family's future because a lot of people don't know, especially when you're just starting out and you're just starting like an LLC and things like that. Your business is a brand new baby. We talk about this a lot. You don't really have any time in business. You just got registered. You don't really have much revenue coming in to the business yet because you're just getting going. In the first 2 years, you're just really trying to build it up. So, what happens with the business is while you're building up the business reputation and the business credit, a lot of it is still going to rely on you personally. And if you really want to be able to grow and scale your business, sometimes you do have to sign for the business. You do have to put your name on there to get certain things in order to grow and scale that business to get funding. So I'm just speaking the truth. Unless you want to go run up a bunch of business credit cards, at the
Yeah.
higher interest
Yeah.
rates, then some of that bigger funding that you want to try to get for your business, if you need to get some larger inventory, is going to look at your personal credit, right? They're going to take a look at that. So definitely just get started. Don't be fearful, just be brave. You know, we got your back. So
Yes.
realizing
And
good
don't be
credit does
embarrassed.
open doors. Yeah.
Don't be embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed.
Yeah, so we just want to help people be able to walk through those doors with confidence with the different programs that we have, even if it's guiding you to a different direction. Sometimes what we have might not be for you at that moment. You might need something else, but at least let us help you with a free consultation to figure out what is the best route for you. So starting, getting the discipline can be tomorrow's peace as well.
Yes.
Yeah. All
Yes.
right. Anything you want to add, Steve? Because it's getting late and the Queen's got
Oh,
things
yes,
to
we do
do.
have things to do,
Yeah.
appointments to catch, and things to do. But just want to throw this out there. We definitely did hit on a couple of good points today, and
Yeah.
we talked about credit restoration. So if there's anyone out there that is interested in starting that process, we do have two services that we offer through Nove, the Credit and Money Company. We do have our AI-driven credit repair software. That's a easy to use point and click software. A lot of us use it. And then we also have our credit referral partner, Credit Likes, and they offer a 90-day money back guarantee. So if you are interested in hearing more information about either of
Mhm.
those programs, you can definitely get with myself, Satitra Booker, Chantella Shabazz, or anyone on our heavy hitters team or go getters team. So just, we are definitely here for you. Um, and anything else, Chantella?
Shout out to Sherry Landrum again because she keep dropping gems in the chat. Before we close out, she said she switched to a mobile business account and did a military
Discount.
and it cut their bill down a
Jerry,
lot.
we're gonna have to talk, Queen. I'm gonna have to give you a
Mhm.
call. I might be able to do something with the mobile business account, but not the military discount,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But yeah, definitely, definitely.
She said she got rid of the insurance because that was a scam. So hey,
I got rid of my insurance on my phone, but for my son, we need it for him.
mhm.
Putting phones in the washing machine, lawnmower, cutting the phone. Like, you know, we got to have insurance for him.
Yeah, you gotta know you gotta know which people need the insurance the most.
Yes. Know your strengths and your weaknesses. Your
Mhm.
can't talk strengths and weaknesses.
Yes, 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 yes. So just thank you everyone for joining our live. Definitely just remember, like we said earlier, you are not your credit score. You
No.
know, that does not have to be overwhelming or embarrassing because, again, a lot more people are going through the same thing that you're going through. You know, the difference is they just raise their hand and ask for help. So
Mhm.
let's get it, everybody. We'll see you next week on Tips and Tea Tuesday. We love you all. Well, I think my heart is getting better.
It
But
is. It's getting better. Practice makes perfect. And I just want to leave everybody with 2 affirmations. One, I am worthy of success, equipped with everything I need to prosper, and I boldly step into my purpose with faith and confidence. That's number one. And number two, I trust that God has ordered my steps. I am walking in divine purpose. Favor surrounds me and abundance flows to me with ease.
I love that. You're going to have to put those in the chat so I can come back and read them.
Yes, Queen, I got you.
Yes, yes. All right. Thank you, everyone. Love, love you all. Thanks so much. And we will see you next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, everybody have a blessed rest of your week.
Well, what Nikki say? What does Nikki say?
Live your life with a purpose on purpose.
That's
Did I
right.
say it right? Did I say it? Okay, awesome.
Oh,
Shout out
you
to
are.
the Queen.